So Artur Beterbiev manages to knock out and stop Callum Smith in the seventh round of their fight. That literally happened several hours ago. Now this fight was from the beginning, literally Artur Beterbiev, even when he's walking out in his ring entrance, it just seemed like a business as usual type of approach. Like, this is a guy that's fighting in his own hometown of Quebec, Canada, and he doesn't have no elaborate entrances or anything crazy or fancy. And then when he's walking into the ring, he just walks in there with a t-shirt on. Usually when fight, like for example, like a Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury, when they're walking into the ring for a big homecoming fight, they've got these massive robes on, they've got a crown on their head, they've got all this like a bluster and show, and they put on a real show and they put on an entrance. Even Anthony Joshua in his last fight against Otto Wallin, there was a massive entrance with like fire and plyometrics and all this like a fancy show. But when Artur Beterbiev goes into the ring, there's no fanciness, there's nothing in there that shows that he's got any arrogance. He's just there to do the job and he's there to get out. I don't think he even has any entrance music, and it kind of reminds me of Mike Tyson. When Mike Tyson back in the day, when he was in his prime, when he was coming up in his career, he used to go into the ring and he didn't have all these elaborate entrances. He literally just wore like shoes with no socks on. He was dressed purely in black. He just had a towel with a hole in it and he put his head through it. And that was his outfit. That was his entrance for the fight. And Artur Beterbiev has that type of look about him, kind of like a young prime Mike Tyson, where he just wants to go in there, knock someone out and just get out. And to be honest with you, in the first round of the fight, it kind of looked like that. Like he just went in there and he started he started aggressively and he started landing hard shots immediately. And even the commentators were saying that it looks like he's going in there to actually do a demolition job immediately. I think after he rushed him in the first 30 seconds, he saw that Callum Smith kept his shape well, and then he slowly backed off and he went back into the center of the ring. Now, for Callum Smith's credit, he was incredibly tough in game, and he had a very good jab that he kept using on Artur Beterbiev. And Artur Beterbiev, for a round or two, struggled to get in close. He got in close, but he struggled to stay there. Now, Callum Smith did also land several left hooks as well, and he also landed right hands and jabs. So this is a guy that was game and ready to fight as well. But Artur Beterbiev just seemed like he was undeniable that night, and he just came in there. And the thing about Artur Beterbiev is he throws these innocuous shots that don't seem like they hurt that much. It's a bit like Subriel Mateus. He throws shots that it's not quite arm punches like the way Subriel Mateus throws it, but it looks like it's innocuous, like he's not winding up the shot. But even with the short distance that he has, he seems to generate a lot of power with his punches. And the after effects of his punches just seem like they devastate their opponents. So their opponents will take like an innocuous shot and it looked like it completely knocked them off balance. And it's the same thing with Artur Beterbiev. I think Golovkin had a similar quality. Like he'll throw a shot, and from the outside looking in, it doesn't look like it does that much damage. But then when it hits, the opponent just looks at him like, what the hell just hit me? And Artur Beterbiev has that quality. Subriel Mateus has it, and obviously Golovkin has it. But Artur Beterbiev, I would argue that from a defensive point of view and from a technical point of view, he got certain traits in his boxing style that's underrated. His defense is quite underrated. Now, don't get it twisted. He's no Pernell Whitaker. He can get hit. I mean, I think Anthony Yard showed down, obviously Callum Johnson, and to some extent, Callum Smith as well. But he knows how to ride shots. He knows how to keep a high guard and evade shots. And it's impressive to see him evade shots the way he does. He uses a high guard and he uses head movement and distance management. And the punches rarely land on him when opponents throw it at him. They do land when they go in close, like an Anthony Yard, or when they catch him off guard. But generally speaking, he knows how to dodge shots. He's not like an Antonio Margarito who's a face-first slugger who's going to go in there. Although Artur Beterbiev's got that type of reputation, he's not that type of guy. He's a technical KO puncher. And eventually he kept breaking Callum Smith down, and eventually in the 7th round he stopped him. And it was brutally efficient. And as the fight wore on, you could see Callum Smith's face just started breaking apart. You could just see that literally he looked like he got hit by a bat. And I think that's the thing about Artur Beterbiev. He hits you with shots and they look innocuous, but then when you see the after effect on them, on his opponent's face and their balance and everything, it looks incredible. And I'll be honest with you. I think Artur Beterbiev is an absolute animal, and the only person that can stop him is Bivol. But the only person that can stop Bivol is Artur Beterbiev. So hopefully they can fight next. Callum Smith, for what it's worth, did give a good game performance. He did land jabs. He did throw double left hooks and land a few of them. He was a bit difficult. And even after the fight, Artur Beterbiev said he's a good opponent. But I think Artur Beterbiev at this point in time is just too much for anybody apart from Bivol. So I hope we get to see that fight. Tell me what you think below about this performance. I think this is up there as one of his great performances, but obviously wasn't as exciting as the Anthony Yarde fight. Anthony Yarde, I think, did better than Callum Smith. But Callum Smith gave a good game effort. He just wasn't enough for Artur Beterbiev. I think Artur Beterbiev is a special fighter. He's a special fighter. And the only person that I see beating him is Bivol. But after this performance, before this fight, I thought Bivol was definitely going to win because he's younger and he looked incredible against Lyndon Arthur. But after this fight, I'm leaning towards Artur Beterbiev. I think closer to the fight, my mind is going to switch several times and I'm going to make videos analysing who could win that fight. So tell me what you think below and like and subscribe to the channel. I've got a lot more content coming your way. Peace.